What if chasing your dreams meant finding love in the most unexpected place? Nina's Heavenly Delights is a beautiful story about family, tradition, and a love that takes everyone, including Nina, by surprise. When Nina, the main character, comes back home after her father's sudden passing, she's pulled into saving the family's failing Indian restaurant and competing in a high-stakes cooking competition. But along the way, she reconnects with an old family friend, Lisa, and what starts as a partnership in the kitchen slowly turns into something much deeper. This movie got warmth, humor, and a love story that's as sweet and spicy as the food they cook. Movie opens up with Nina Shah returns to Glasgow after her father's sudden death, and the weight of his legacy hits her immediately. After 3 years of living in London, she's not just coming home, she's stepping back into a life she thought she'd left behind. The family's Indian restaurant, the New Taj, is in a tough spot, struggling financially and losing its once loyal customer base. Nina's greeted with the familiar mix of warmth and tension in her family. Her mother, Suman, is grieving and distant, while her brother, Carey, is practical and focused on keeping things afloat. But it's clear the heart of their home, the restaurant, is in trouble. Nina's father had poured his soul into the New Taj, and now that he's gone, there's a sense that the restaurant might go with him. Nina feels torn, trying to find her place in this new reality. She left Glasgow to chase her own dreams, but now the responsibility of her father's legacy calls her back. And as much as she might resist it, the love she has for her family and their traditions makes it impossible to turn away. At home, the conversation quickly turns to the future of the New Taj, and things get heated fast. Suman, still overwhelmed with grief, thinks it might be time to let go, and Raj, a local businessman, is ready to buy the restaurant. Carey agrees, believing the practical thing to do is sell and move on. But for Nina, the idea of selling the restaurant feels like losing her father all over again. She's not ready to let go of the place he built with so much love and passion. The family sits around the table, the tension rising as they argue over what's best. Nina's frustration grows as she realizes how much pressure there is to make a quick decision and how little time they have to figure it out. But in that frustration, a spark of determination forms. She refuses to let her father's dream die so easily. And when she discovers a surprising secret her father left behind, everything changes. While going through her father's belongings, Nina finds something unexpected, an entry form for the Best of the West curry competition. Winning this prestigious local event had been her father's dream for years, and now it's their last shot at honoring him and saving the New Taj. Nina takes this discovery as a sign. If they can win, they'll not only revive the restaurant's reputation, but keep his legacy alive. She brings the idea to her family, and the reaction is mixed. Suman thinks it's too risky. Kari worries it's too late to turn things around. But Nina won't back down. She knows this competition could be exactly what they need. It's not just about the prize, it's about proving that the New Taj still has life in it. And deep down, it's about keeping a piece of her father close. Despite the doubts around her, Nina makes a decision. They're going all in. Things take an even more unexpected turn when Nina discovers her father had secretly sold half of the New Taj to Lisa McKinley. Lisa was Nina's childhood friend, but it's been years since they've seen each other, and the reunion is awkward at first. Lisa's calm, business-minded approach is the total opposite of Nina's fiery passion, and the two clash right away. But as they start working together, their different strengths become obvious and essential. Lisa's knowledge of finances and operations balances Nina's creativity and drive. They push each other, challenge each other, and slowly start to rediscover the connection they had when they were younger. There's an undeniable chemistry between them, something that simmers just beneath the surface.
And as they throw themselves into saving the new Taj, that chemistry only grows stronger.
Amid the chaos, Nina finds comfort in reconnecting with her old friend Bobby, the life of the party and the most supportive friend anyone could ask for. Bobby's preparing for a Bollywood dance competition, and his infectious energy brings some much-needed joy into Nina's life. His unwavering belief in Nina and her vision reminds her why she's fighting so hard. Through Bobby, Nina starts feeling more connected to her roots and the community she left behind. And when things get tough, Bobby is there with a joke, a hug, or an impromptu dance number. He's not just comic relief, he's one of the few people who truly sees Nina for who she is and encourages her to embrace every part of herself, even the parts she's still figuring out. With the competition looming, Nina and Lisa dive headfirst into perfecting their recipes. Nights are spent in the kitchen, testing spices, arguing over techniques, and creating some truly incredible dishes. And somewhere between the laughter and the late-night taste tests, the tension between them shifts. Their partnership becomes more than just professional, it becomes personal. They start sharing stories, opening up about their dreams and fears. And every time their hands brush or their eyes meet a little too long, it's clear something's building. Their connection grows through the shared love of food and the shared pressure of saving the new Taj. And as the dishes get better, so does the understanding between them. Just when things start coming together, disaster hits. One of their key suppliers pulls out at the worst possible time, leaving them without some of the essential spices and ingredients they need for their competition dish. It's a huge blow, and the pressure pushes Nina and Lisa right to the edge. The frustration boils over into a heated argument. Nina accuses Lisa of being too focused on the business side and not understanding the emotional weight of what they're trying to do. Lisa fires back, saying Nina's too reckless and isn't thinking practically. The tension hangs heavy between them, but they don't have time to stay mad. They've got a restaurant to save. Instead of giving up, they take matters into their own hands. They hit the local markets, searching for new suppliers and rediscovering forgotten flavors. The search turns into an adventure, full of unexpected detours and little moments of joy. They meet quirky vendors, some spices, and slowly start working together again. Through the chaos, they lean on each other, and that trust they've been building deepens. By the end of the day, they've got their ingredients and a stronger partnership. As the competition gets closer, so does the pressure from Nina's family things finally reach a breaking point. Suman, still overwhelmed with grief and fear for their future, starts questioning Nina's choices. She worries that Nina's obsession with saving the restaurant and her growing closeness to Lisa will ruin her chances of settling down and following a more traditional path. It's a conversation Nina's been dreading, but one she knew was coming. When Suman brings up the idea of marriage and a proper future, the tension explodes. Years of unspoken expectations, disappointment, and misunderstanding come pouring out. Nina fights back, trying to explain how much the new Taj means to her, how much her father's dream means to her, but Suman doesn't see it the same way. It's heartbreaking, this gap between them, and it leaves Nina feeling even more alone. But Lisa is there, quietly supportive, and her presence becomes a much-needed source of comfort. In that storm of family conflict, Lisa's calmness and understanding give Nina the strength to keep going, even when it feels like the world is against her. One night, after hours of experimenting in the kitchen, something magical happens. Nina and Lisa create a dish that's unlike anything they've made before, spontaneous, creative, and completely their own. The excitement is electric, filling the space with laughter and joy. They celebrate like two kids who just pulled off the impossible, dancing around the kitchen with music playing and spices flying everywhere. It's one of those rare, perfect moments where everything feels right. And then the mood shifts, the laughter quiets, and suddenly they're standing there, close, the air between them charged with something undeniable. The way they look at each other changes, softening into something more vulnerable and real. It's not just the late nights and the stress, there's a genuine connection here, something that's been building from the start. Their hands brush, their eyes linger, and for a heartbeat, it feels like the whole world stops. Neither of them says a word, but they don't have to. In that quiet, the possibility of something more finally becomes real. Just as things start looking up, Raj makes his move. He spreads rumors around the community, whispering that the new Taj is in serious financial trouble and on the brink of closing. It's a calculated attack, designed to shake their reputation and scare off customers, and it works. Reservations start getting cancelled, and the restaurant's already fragile position becomes even more precarious. But Raj isn't done. He tries to poach their head chef, Sanjay, offering him better pay and more stability. It's a tempting offer, and everyone knows it. Nina's heart sinks when she hears about it. Losing Sanjay would be devastating, both professionally and personally. But Sanjay surprises them all. Despite the promise of a bigger paycheck, he stays, not for money, but for loyalty. He believes in the new Taj and what they're trying to do. More importantly, he believes in Nina and Lisa. His faith in them becomes a powerful reminder of why they're fighting so hard. The restaurant isn't just a business, it's a family, and family sticks together. In the midst of all the stress, Bobby offers a much-needed escape and a chance for Nina and Lisa to let loose. He convinces them to join one of his Bollywood dance rehearsals, and it's pure joy from the start. The energy is infectious, the music loud and lively, and for the first time in a while, they stop thinking about the restaurant and just have fun. Nina's a little awkward at first, but Lisa surprises everyone, especially Nina with her natural rhythm. They fall into sync, their movements mirroring each other's perfectly, and in that moment, dancing becomes something more. The way they move together feels effortless, like they've been doing this their whole lives. The chemistry between them is undeniable, sparking every time their eyes meet or their hands brush. By the end of the rehearsal, the air between them is thick with something unsaid, something they're both starting to realize they don't want to ignore anymore. Bobby notices too, shooting Nina a knowing look that makes her blush. And as they leave the studio, the energy between them crackles with possibility. Later that night, with the music still buzzing in their veins, Nina and Lisa take a walk along the river. The city lights shimmer on the water, and the quiet feels intimate, almost fragile. They talk in a way they haven't before. Lisa opens up about her own fears and dreams, admitting how much she wants this restaurant to succeed, not just for the business, but for what it represents. Nina listens, her heart full, and slowly starts sharing her own truth. She talks about her father, about the weight of his legacy, and her fear of letting everyone down. And then the conversation shifts to them, the connection that's been building between them, the way they make each other feel. There's a pause, and then Lisa reaches for Nina's hand. It's a small gesture, but it says everything. When they finally kiss, it's soft and tentative, full of all the emotion they've been holding back. In that moment, under the stars, something beautiful begins. So here we are, the big moment. Nina and Lisa have been through it all. The pressure of saving the restaurant, the weight of family expectations, and the chaos of the competition. But through every setback and every victory, they found something even more important: each other. Lisa helped Nina believe in herself, not just as a chef, but as someone brave enough to follow her own path. And Nina gave Lisa a place to belong, a passion to fight for. Their relationship isn't just about romance, it's about partnership, trust, and pushing each other to be better. And that's what makes this story so inspiring. Thanks for hanging out in the Sapphic Nook. If you loved Nina and Lisa's journey as much as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. See you next time.